Well, hi friends, and welcome back to Rustic and Lace DIY. Today I have a fun home decor kitchen DIYs for you. I love how these came out. I hope you enjoy it as well. But first of all, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Brenda, and this is my sweet Oliver. And if you're returning, we love you guys so much. So with all that being said, let's get to crafting. Okay, here's DIY number one. So for this DIY, I'm going to use my Waverly Antique Wax and my Waverly ink, and then this decals that I did with my Cricut, this coffee cup from Dollar Tree, and this sign from Dollar Tree. So I'm going to start off by removing those staples so I can remove the hanger, and boy, that one was not wanting to come out. But I got them out, and then I used my heat gun here and my little Cricut spatula to remove the seaside word. And then I used that same method using a paint scraper instead to remove the little trim that goes around the picture. And what I loved is how easy and nice this paper came up with that trim. It just was beautiful. I just loved being able to rip that off. So once I was done with that, I took my spackling and filled in the holes on that coffee cup, and then I painted the back of the sign with the antique wax, and I painted the trim and the mug with the ink color. Once I was done, I took my wood glue here and some hot glue, and I'm going to add all of those trim pieces to my picture frame or picture. And I love the colors black and the antique wax together. I always just think it looks so high end and nice. And so when I was trying to think of doing this, that was just the colors that was coming to mind, and I just love the way this came out. So once I had those pieces on, I took my wood glue and I'm going all the way around the inside of that mug, and then I'm just putting it a little bit on the handle. Then I'm going to go with my hot glue gun and add it to the areas that doesn't have my wood glue, and then I'm going to lay it right in the middle of my picture here, well, towards the bottom really. Then I took my first decal that I created, and I am just going to place it along the top part of my sign. Now, we all know, or most of you probably know if you've been with me a while, vinyl just does not like to stick at first with that wax. It tries to come up when I'm pulling up my transfer tape. So as you see, I was just walking my fingers there as I was pulling up my transfer tape, and the same thing here. I'm just kind of holding down the vinyl as I pull my transfer tape just to kind of keep it down. Once I get that transfer tape down, it sticks on there real nicely, but it's just that I think that tape is strong enough to bring it up. So then I used the word coffee, and I put this on my coffee mug. And yes, I love coffee. And so life begins after coffee meant a lot to me. And I felt like needed something more on that coffee cup. So I did those coffee beans. Although I wish I would have done them in a little lighter brown because I feel like it's kind of hard to see. But then I just took some popsicle or some craft sticks there, and I hot glued them to the back so that my staple would not go through the front, and then I am going to staple the hanger on just like you see me doing right there. And then I just took some shipping paper, and I'm just going to use a hot glue to attach my shipping paper to the back to cover up all the messiness that was left from when I tore off the paper on the front of the sign. And as you can see, I'm just going to go all the way around my sign. Yes, excuse me, guys, and along the edge with that glue gun. And as you can see there, I had my paper hit the glue gun, or the glue. Oh my goodness. But then I trimmed off the edges to make sure it was all even, and there it is. I love how this came out. But again, I love those colors together. But you have to let me know what you think about this one in the comment box below. Okay, I want to stop for a moment and thank all my wonderful subscribers. You guys are awesome. And if you're new here and enjoyed today's video, hit that subscribe button before you go. It costs you nothing and it means the world to me. And then if you would like to support my channel, you can do so by giving me that thumbs up, commenting, and watching those ads. That really does help my channel. And then if you'd like to follow me on social media, you can find the links to my social media accounts as well as my affiliate accounts in the description box as well. Okay, here's DIY number 2. So this one, I'm going to use the same colors, my Waverly Antique Wax and Waverly Ink. I'm going to use some of these tumbling tower blocks, and yes, they came in those colors. And then another decal that I created with my Cricut, this paper from Hobby Lobby, and then this sign from Dollar Tree. So I'm going to start off by removing the stars from that sign, just like you see me doing right there. And after that, I did start tearing off the paper. Now, I know I could have probably just sanded the glitter off of that, or I could have put Mod Podge on it, but there's just something relaxing for me to peel off the paper. And if it comes in really small pieces, then usually I'll just give up. But I don't know, when it comes in bigger pieces, I just love peeling it off. So once I had the bulk of that off, I sprayed down all the residue, and then I'm using my paint scraper here to scrape this off. Now, if you let this, when you spray it, if you let it sit for about 5 minutes, it comes off a lot easier. I only let it sit for a couple minutes just because I was kind of in a hurry. Once I had it all done, and I'm sorry, I don't know why my camera was not focusing, but I took that jar sign and I placed it along my paper and traced it out and then cut out that paper. Then I'm taking my Mod Podge here and I'm just going to place it all along the middle and bottom part of that sign. And then once I have that all done, I set it aside to dry. Oh, no, I don't. I went ahead and placed my paper on it. And then I covered it with Mod Podge to protect that paper. And then after that, I set it aside to dry. And then once it was dry, I did use my finger sander to sand off all the edges. And here I'm just taking that ink by Waverly and I am painting the top part of my jar. Now, I originally was planning on using like some metal ribbon or something around this, but I just loved this look so much that I decided to keep it just black. And once I had that done, I guess this is where I used my finger sander to sand off the extra piece of the extra part of the papers that was laying over that sign. Once I had that all done, then I felt like this paper just wasn't brown enough. So I took my antique wax and a paper towel and I'm just rubbing it into this paper. And I love the look that it gave this. It is just beautiful. I just love this. Anyways, after that, I took my decal here and I am going to place it along the middle of my jar sign. And yes, again, it did give me a little bit of problems taking off my transfer tape. And that's only because it was, there was wax on that paper. It wasn't as hard as the first project, but I think that's because I probably didn't have as much wax. But anyways, I just worked with it. And once I got it off, I took this ribbon. I got this from Amazon. I do believe it is in my Amazon store. And I'm just making a bow by doing the awareness ribbon, scrunching it up in the middle, and then tying some twine around the middle. Now this ribbon is really thick, so it's kind of hard to work with, but you just keep working at it and you can get it to do what you want it to do. So once I have this tied, I'm going to dovetail the ends, and that's just folding it in half and cutting the folded area at an angle. And then I'm just going to hot glue this to the side of my mason jar. And then I took a couple of these burlap flowers from Dollar Tree and I'm just hot gluing them on. And I believe that's, no, I'm going to do these tumbling tower blocks. So I'm going to hot glue 3 of them together. I believe I made 2 strips of 3. And once is that 3 or 4? I can't remember now. It might have been 4. We'll see. Nope, it's 3. Okay. So then I took my tumbling tower blocks here and I'm just going to glue them to the back. And then I took my second strip here and I'm gluing it on top of that first strip of tumbling tower blocks. And there it is. I absolutely love this one. I actually think this one might be my favorite, but I just love how that paper turned out with that wax. You have to let me know what you think about this one as well. Okay, so it is a time for celebration of your recreations. And we have these wonderful projects that Annabelle made. She has been busy. I love them all. You did just an amazing job, Annabelle. Thank you so much for sharing. And then Jody recreated my little clay pot cow, and she even added some yarn for hair. She did an amazing job. Thank you so much, Jody. And if you have a creation or recreation that you would like me to showcase for you, you can send pictures to my email address that's listed there, or you can send them to me through Facebook Messenger or Instagram, and I am always thrilled to death to showcase them for you. Okay, here's DIY number 3. So for this DIY, I am going to use my Chalk Couture chalk paste in the color Bright White. I'm going to use my Waverly Antique Wax and my Waverly chalk paint in the color Ink. I'm going to use, I'm just going to call this trim. I don't remember what they call this, but this came in the Dollhouse section of Dollar Tree. It was marked down. Not Dollar Tree, Hobby Lobby. Then I'm going to use this Chalk Couture transfer. It is called Biscuits and Gravy. And then I'm going to use this 11 by 14 canvas. It's just a flat canvas panel. So I'm going to start off by painting the canvas panel black, and then I'm going to paint the trim with that antique wax. And I did have to do like 2 or 3 coats to get that trim to really, or that wax to really adhere to that trim, because it's kind of a plasticky feel. Then I took my miter shears here, and I am cutting them down, and I'm just using the angle, cutting them down at 90-degree angles. And then after I had them all cut down, I am fuzzing my Chalk Couture transfer. Now, if you're not familiar with Chalk Couture, it is an adhesive silkscreen stencil. And the reason why we fuzz it is because we fuzz it the first time we use it so that it doesn't pull up the paint when we remove the transfer. So I'm just putting it on my board here, making sure there's no bubbles. And then I'm just taking my white chalk paste and I'm just going over all the wording with my white color, as you see me doing right there. Now, I do love biscuits and gravy. It's one of my favorite breakfasts. I don't get it very often, probably a good thing, but I love this saying, and I just really wanted to make something with this, and I thought this would be perfect for kitchen DIYs. But if you're interested in Chalk Couture, you could always send me an email or comment. I would be more than happy to share with you any information you'd like about Chalk Couture. And you can find links to my Chalk Couture page in my description box as well. So I'm just taking my trim pieces here. I'm putting wood glue and hot glue on them. And then I'm just going to place them all around my sign, making sure that the edges all match up perfectly. And I love the way this looks. It just really comes out looking like a nice frame. So I guess I needed to show you every little step of this because I think I show you me doing each one of these. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we're about done here. Okay, there we go. So I just felt like it still needed something else. So I took this checkered ribbon. I think I got this from Hobby Lobby. It was marked down. And I'm just going to go and hot glue it all around the frame. I am cutting the ends at a diagonal just to kind of go along with the frame edge. And you guys, I think this really made it. I just think this just brought the whole thing together. I love the way this came out, and I love that ribbon there. I don't know, it just really, really added to it, I think. So once I have this all finished, which will take me just a second because apparently I wanted to make sure you know how to glue ribbon to a sign. Oh my goodness, you guys. I think I was just going so crazy trying to get everything done before my grandsons came that I don't know. I was just on go mode. I used some of that same ribbon to make a hanger in the back like you see. And then that's all there was for this one. Again, I just love the way this came out. Oh, it is so pretty. You have to let me know what you think about this one as well. Okay, here is DIY number 4. So for this DIY, I'm going to use the same paints, the Waverly chalk paint in the color ink and my Waverly antique wax. I am going to use some of these handles that I got from Amazon. I'm going to use some of these, or 2 of these 10-inch chunky slats from Dollar Tree. I'm going to use 1 of these, or 2 of these shelves from Dollar Tree. And then I'm going to use these Magnolia rub-on transfers. I got these from STENCILS, and I think they are beautiful. So I'm going to start off by using my wood glue and some hot glue to attach those 2 shelves together. And then after I had that, I took my wood glue and I'm going to use that as well as hot glue to attach these chunky pieces to the top of both of those shelf units. Then I painted the middle with the ink and I painted the little chunky slats with my antique wax. Once they were all dried, I took my rub-on transfers here and I'm just going to rub. And these, you could actually see the color changing, which kind of let me know that it was time to start pulling. So then I just start pulling off that little transfer piece. And then if I saw any of it coming off, I just rubbed some more and there it is. I love this. I think it is so pretty. I've got it in my kitchen already. I just think it's beautiful. So after that, I took some of these are finial caps I got from, I believe I got these from Woodpecker Craft, and I am just using my wood glue and a little bit of hot glue to attach them to the bottom because this is now going to be a riser. So these are just going to be some little feet on the bottom of my riser. And then after I had that done, I went ahead and covered the top with my Mod Podge because, and this is dishwasher safe Mod Podge because this is going to be in my kitchen and I wanted to protect the transfer as well as the paint in case, anything gets spilt on it. And I think when I went over the edge here and I must have found some wet paint because all of a sudden I started realizing that the Mod Podge going over my flowers looked black. You can kind of see it right there. And so I was like, what's going on? But I did get it all cleaned up and taken care of. You can't even tell now that it's all dry. And once that was done and dry, I took these handles, used my little drill and drilled in some screws and drew into those handles. And there it is. I love how this came out. It is just simply beautiful. You have to let me know what you think about this one as well and which one was your favorite one today. The final reveal is coming right up. If you're interested again in Chalk Couture, let me know. I'd be more than happy to give you any information. Again, you can find my links to it in my description box. But I love all of these. You have to let me know which one you like. And if you're new here, don't forget to hit that red subscribe button before you go. And then, guys, don't forget to give me that thumbs up and comment. And with all that being said, you guys, I will be back again on Thursday with a Christmas in July video, getting ready to do all that fun stuff. So with all that being said, you guys, have a blessed week, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.